We'll be recording. All right. So the first thing I want to go over is strategies. So a lot of time we're talking about strategies and you can get kind of like lost in it because every strategy works. It just depends on your particular trading style. So if you're one that doesn't like to analyze charts by dropping a whole bunch of lines, you'd rather use indicators, you have to start determining what kind of trader that you are. So you see everyone right now, some people doing the catch up mustard strategy, some people doing the price trap. I do above and below. It's like 1,000 different strategies out there. But what you have to realize is, like I said, all of them work, but just figure out which one works best for you. So don't go out here and try all the different strategies. Pick one that resonates with you, and you're going to start seeing more results in everything, right? So that's enough for that. What I want to go over first was chart analysis. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. All right. So what I use to mark up my charts are TradingView. So you can use TradingView.com, but I use the TradingView app because it's a little more easier for me to navigate through versus using the actual website. So as soon as it comes up here, there we go. So actually, let me do a cleaner one for you because I use a lot of indicators. Let's go over to Euro USD. All right, here we go. So don't pay attention to the indicators at the bottom. We're going to pay attention to the main chart right here. So when it comes to analyzing your charts, I start off with the 1 hour chart when I'm using my strategies. And all it is when you're looking at these different strategies and analyzing your charts is different time frames. So at the hour, it gives you a more broader view of what each candlestick is about to do next. First, if you go to the 4 hour, right? It gives you a much broader view because you see these 2 yellow lines here. Those are my support and resistance lines from my 1 hour chart. But look here, when I turn it to 4 hour, it goes even lower, right? So either way is correct. It's just about which one you prefer to do. So if you do 4 hour and you're marking up on the 4 hour time frame and you're putting in your trades according to the 4 hour, it's just gonna take a little longer for it to play out because it's 4 hours for each candlestick. Some people trade the daily, some people trade the weekly, some people even go off the monthly. But I'm more of a trader where I like to be in and be out within an hour or two. So I don't do the swing trading because it's not really my stuff. So one of the ways that I go, like I said, I go to my hour chart. And the first thing that I do over here, so I'm going to show you how to analyze it as well as this is a strategy. So this is one of the strategies I learned from Akil. So I don't know if some of you are in the 52 weeks platform, he goes over this. So this is called the above below strategy. So the very first thing you do is you take a horizontal line. And I actually want to move this on. You take a horizontal line and you put it on the highest point on your chart. So wherever you're looking at it from, put it on the highest point on there. And then you'll take another horizontal line, minimize that some, you put it on the lowest point on the chart. So actually, let's move this one. So I want to make this bigger. And if you haven't played around with TradingView, play around with this, a lot of different tools on here. So over to the left-hand side, going on horizontal line. It's going to click, ignore the dotted lines. I'm going to change that in a moment. So down here, let's change it to a solid line for you. All right, now we're good to go. So once you find your highest point on the chart that you're looking at, inside the one that you're in, and the lowest point, next thing you do, a little bigger, you come over here and what you're going to look for is the fib retracement. Now this method here is a simple way on how to draw your support and resistance lines. That's pretty much what this is. You can use the fib for anything, but what we're using it for now is drawing support and resistance lines. So if you have a hard time doing that, this here is going to help you. So all I'm doing is taking it from the top to the bottom. Boom, right? And I'll make this a little bigger so you can see now. And all you do next is you grab your horizontal line again, and all you're doing is putting it on each and last one of these colorful lines here. So I'll put one there, take another one, put one on the red side. If at any time I'm going too fast, just let me know. Horizontal line, I throw it on the yellow one. Take another one, horizontal line. This is all you're doing. So starting out, you put on each one of the lines, but as you get to learn this strategy more, you just put it on the lines that are closest to your current market price. So take that, put it there, right? Another horizontal line. Then we have to keep drawing all the lines. But for informational purpose, we're going to do them today. And boom. So now let me make this a little bigger. So now all I'm going to do is see now where these are breaking through. So let's come down so you don't see the bottom part right now. Make that a little bigger. So all this strategy involves is you're looking at two lines. So say for instance, we only had these two lines, this top green one and this bottom green one, right? So are you doing this waiting for a price to break above the line or below the line? So with this one here, let me highlight it so you'll see. Let's turn it a different color. Let's make it blue. There we go. So with this blue line here, so say for instance, you're in the market hasn't played out the rest of the stuff to the right. So all we're doing is waiting. Try to make it a little clearer so you can see those candlesticks clear there. There we go. So all you're doing is waiting for it to break below it. So as soon as this first candlestick, it broke it, right? Then it went back up and retest. What's a retest? When it's touching that line again. And then I would have waited, let's see if I can draw it so you can see, for this particular candle to open all the way. There you go. You should be able to see that. If you can't see it, just let me know. I can make that a little lighter. All right, we're just going to work with it. So it's a candlestick in here, that first, second, third one under the blue line. As soon as that opened and closed below, I would have gotten this for a sale. And remember, with your trading plan, because you should be trading with a trading plan, you should know what you're going between 20 and 30 pips or 10 pips if you're scalping. But I normally go between 20 and 30 pips. So as you see here, this should have went actually more than 30 pips. Let's see. But we got in here. It might not do it, so I'm doing it for my cell phone. Let's delete that. Let's see, because I want you all to see this. Because this stuff isn't hard. You just have to learn what your strategy is. Okay, yeah, it's not gonna let me do it from the cell phone, so move that way. So this went way more than 30 pips. And that's all you're doing. So if you go down here to the bottom one, the green line, I would have waited until it broke above the blue. You see the green line? So when that blue candlestick, those are my buy. When it broke above, I would have waited till it retested, but once it came back down and retested with those two red candles, it jumped back up again. And that's all you're doing. So you come down some more. Right now, you see before the market closed, it was going in for a sale. But as you see, it did the same thing again. Make sure y'all can see that. So I'm looking at the green line here. So this green line, it broke below it. And what it do? It dropped down for a sale. And you're only grabbing your 20 to 30 pips. And if you wanted to as well, sometimes you can do, I hear a lot of people say they trade from level to level or zone to zone. 9 times out of 10, they're going to go from zone to zone. So you could possibly take that from this sale, from the top of that green down to the bottom of the green. Because if you look at history, what it's going to do is keep going from zone to zone. That's all it's doing, recessing each zone. It either goes out of it or it goes in it. And this is like the most simplest strategy that I like to teach people because it's the above below. So if something's breaking above that line, you're buying it, but you want it to completely open and close above before you really get in for extra indication. And if it goes below it, you're looking for a sale. Also as well, this is good for analyzing your charts because this is a simple way how to draw your support and resistance lines. As you see, all I had to do was draw my horizontal line, the highest point on the chart, the lowest point on the chart. I went and grabbed my field retracement. I drew it from top to bottom. Then all I did was grab my horizontal line again, and I put a horizontal line on each one of the field lines. And then I color coordinate. Sometimes I do, blue and green. I do other colors, so I know exactly what zone I'm in. And I wait for it to break above. I wait for it to break below. Do I sit there and watch the chart? No. What I do is set a alert because I have the paid version of TradingView. So I set an alert. So right now, if I wanted to know, okay, if it's going to break past this 1.11696, I could set the alert, be like, okay, look for a sale. I'd set another one. I'm like, okay, if it breaks above 1.12040, getting those numbers from the two lime green lines up there, I know, okay, I'm looking for a buy. And that's it. Like, this is like one of the most simplest ones, but some people tend to overcomplicate it. So this is a very good one. This is actually the one that Akil was telling us that he started off. This is what he made his first, I think he said his first million with, was just utilizing these support and resistance lines for above and below strategy. That's it. That's why I stress how important it is to learn how to draw support and resistance lines. But look how easy it can be. It's as simple as it can get. Does anybody have any questions so far before I move on to the next one? I know I talk a little fast.
Keisha, so this is called the above and below strategy?
That's correct.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
No problem. This is like one of the most simplest ones. And you don't have to figure out, okay, where's my support line? Where's my resistance lines? It automatically does it for you. So the fib tool has a lot of different uses. This is just one of the uses that we use it for. And then as you see here, I got extra indicators, but we'll go into that at another time because some people don't like to use indicators. I do them as both. So as you see, when it broke into that cell and it went below that top green line, you see my indicator down here, the red turned bottom. The bottom of all the red here at the bottom, which is the MACD, was red, and then the red was on top of the blue. Also as well, my RSI, that line, can't really see them on the cell phone, but that purple here is under the red line. So those are like 3 different confirmations that this is a sell order.
Where would I go to find this strategy? Because I've gone through so many strategies and I've heard about this one before, but I haven't come across it yet.
So this right here, I learned this when I first started in the 52 weeks program that they have. So I don't know if you heard of that or not, but it's different educators, like 4 different educators from different, whether within a Trade Nation team, and they're like proven strategies that work for them, and they teach us within 52 weeks. So that's why I got it from Akil.
I'm in the 52 weeks, and I know the Milwaukee sauce, and I know Mark, he went over the spear, the shield, and I missed last week. I have to look at it again, but I haven't seen this strategy.
Because Akil comes on last. So I've been in this, I was doing it last year, and he was the last instructor. So back on this 52 week round, he's the last one. So after
okay, we haven't gotten to it yet. Okay.
No.
Okay, I got a sneak peek. Okay, got
you. Yes, like you said, yeah, you got a sneak peek.
Hey, Markeisha, I will say that this strategy looks like the very first strategy that we did. I know that we learned, I think it was the spear strategy, where we went from the top to the bottom and we did our fibs and put the lines on each one. And to me, it looks like going zone to zone, like you just showed. So they look very similar, if I'm not mistaken. But if anybody missed what she said, like if you just came in and missed this, please ask her questions. She's like really good at this.
So like you said, like it's part of the shield, it is. Because Akil taught Mr. Goldfinger's on Akil's team.
Wow, this is amazing. This is probably the most simple strategy that I've seen, and I've been through several educators, and I'm in the 52 weeks, and this right here just really hit me like, oh wow, just simple.
Good.
So hey, this is Tawana.
Okay.
I think this is kind of sort of what I've been doing to mark up my my own charts without knowing. It was an actual strategy.
Well, look at that. So you was already doing the above below.
Yeah.
Have you been taking trades doing it?
I just started using it this week.
Okay.
So I did a few, and yeah, I've been going in, get my 30 pips and jumping right on out.
Boom, there you go. Yeah, so you was already doing it. Like I said, this is the one I like to explain to people because I can actually explain it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm here. I'm still watching and taking notes.
Awesome. Any more questions before I move on to the next? Nope. All right. So that was that one. So this is like one of my main ones, so I can remember how to analyze and mark up charts. I use this. But
I do have a question. So your fib, I know, I don't know about everybody else, but I know depending on who you watched, or not necessarily for this particular strategy, but you know, on other strategies or other things, it's like you may have altered the numbers, the selected numbers on the Fibonacci. Are they like, which ones are those?
Let me see if I can pull it up here. Let me see if I can't pull it up from here. I know I do have them written down, so I was posting in the group. Yeah, because I won't let me pull it up from here for some reason.
This one, I believe it uses the classic fib, right? The 618.
Yes, yes. Listen, I think he had us add one more number, and I don't have my notebooks in here. So we had to add one more, but I can't remember right off the bat what it was. Yes, I'll make sure I post that inside the group though, because for some reason it's not showing my whole thing here. Let me try one more time, see if I can just draw extra and see. Yeah, if not, I'll definitely just post it in the group. Let's try this one more time.
Usually what I do, Keisha, is I just tap on the fib again, and the settings thing will come up, and just click on, yeah,
There we go.
Yeah, there you have it.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. So I'm gonna try to pull up enough so you can screenshot. Oh, I'm turning it long ways. I'm doing this for my cell phone. Nope, it doesn't show both sides. All right, so you got to get 2 screenshots in there. So here's the first half. Right, and here's the second half. And what you're adding is just the ones that are highlighted, not the dim ones. I don't think it was none down here. Yep, and that's it.
Do you know what the strategy is called, or what do you call it?
Akil calls it above below.
All right, thank you. That's all I need.
Mm-hmm.
And one more thing, Keisha, I came in a little late. I'm sorry. So when you're pulling up the fibs, did you say that you are placing your own support and resistant line?
No, the fib is doing them for me.
Okay, so you don't have to place any lines. You're just taking them directly from the fibs.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. I'm just drawing a line on each one of the fib lines, and that's my support and resistance lines.
Oh, okay, just to extend the fib line.
Exactly, yes.
Okay, got it.
Mm-hmm. Good questions. Anyone else? All right, remember, I'm here for y'all now.
I came in late too. Where are you drawing it from?
So I'm on TradingView, right? Because you can do it as well on your harmonic scanner, but then I think it doesn't really save it, I don't think. But I do everything. I'll analyze my charts from TradingView. Was that the question you were asking, or where was I getting the horizontal lines from?
The horizontal lines.
Okay, got you. So on TradingView, when you go over to the left, sometimes the first one, I don't know if you can see me clicking here, and I clicked on horizontal line. It's a whole toolbar gonna be to your left-hand side. Does that make sense? You know where it's gonna be at?
Yeah, it does. I was just saying how to like placing it on the chart. Like yeah.
Gotcha. Like I'm doing it from the cell phone, so it shows a little different. So when I'm doing it from the cell phone, I use the app. All I'm doing is see the dotted lines, and I put it where I want to put it at, and I just press on it, and then it shows up the horizontal line for me.
Right. So are you just putting it at the top of the high points and the low points?
Yes. So wherever you're looking at it, this is on an hour time frame. So whatever's in your particular screen, like you said, you're going to find that highest point, and you find that lowest point, and that's where you put in your 2 horizontal lines.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And is this strategy for the hour?
Say that one more time.
Is this strategy for the hour chart?
Yes.
Okay.
I want to add to that question. So we know that the strategies for the hour, are people able to go down to the 15-minute and take trades from that chart?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you can. But always mark it up on this hour time frame though.
Right. And also you're going from top to bottom with your fibs, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Thank you.
So you're saying you mark up on the 1 hour, but you can get in the trade on any hour? Because what I've noticed, especially trying to do the ketchup and mustard strategy, is that the candles are way different if you put it like on the 5 or put it on the 15, and the indicators too. I mean, I know that's not the strategy, but as far as like the candles go, because sometimes like if you have it on the 5, it's like, okay, well, it's showing a bear candle, but then if I put it on the 15, it's showing that it's still a bull candle.
So like what I do, I mark up on an hour and I go down to the 15-minute. I don't go down any lower than that.
Okay. 15 only.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just like on regular pairs, or does it matter if it's a fast moving pair that you need to look at it on a different time frame?
Well, it's mainly for regular pairs, but I have used it on oil and NAS 100 and gold as well.
And you still only do the 15. You
Yes.
still don't do any less than 15. Okay.
But that's just my personal preference. Mm-hmm. Good question. Anyone else? Because next thing we're going to talk about is ketchup and mustard.
I'm just going to have to watch this over again. I missed it from the beginning.
Okay, no worries. I can do it for you one more time. So this right here is called the above-below strategy. So you can use this to analyze your chart, right? And using this for support and resistance lines. So instead of trying to figure out, kind of sometimes can be a little difficult to figure out, okay, where do I put my support line, where do I put my resistance lines? This right here, it helps you, and plus it's your strategy as well. It's like the first thing I did was came over here and I grabbed my horizontal line. And what I was looking for was the very high point, the highest point on my chart. And this is the hour time frame. So I screwed up so y'all see that was the highest point, right? And then next thing I did was I looked for the lowest point right here on my chart. So I took another horizontal line, brought it down here, put it right there. So then the third step is I grabbed my fib retracement tool, came over here, I clicked on fib retracement, I take it up to the top of the line, I start from top, and I come down to the bottom. It's gonna look small because I'm on the cell phone. Put it right there. The fourth step I do, make it a little bigger. Make sure you mute your lines. I take another horizontal line, and all I'm doing now is putting a horizontal line on each one of these fib lines. And now that's me marking my support and resistance lines. Now for instructional purposes, I'll put them on each one of them. But when I'm just doing it myself, I only put them on the lines, the area that's closest to the current market price. But so that you all will see, I'll put each one of them. That might be a little off. We'll work with it. And that's all I'm doing. Each one of these colorful lines, I'm putting it on there. And I'm using the TradingView app to do this because on my cell phone. If I was on my laptop, I do actual TradingView. One here. All right, and one more horizontal line on that last blue one. Boom. And I've expanded some. And what I'm looking for is for the candlestick to either open above the top line or below the bottom line. So if I look at here at current market price, I got a question.
Yeah. Okay, this is Tawana again. You said that you use the fib retracement?
Yes.
Can you show me that?
Of course.
I wasn't looking at the screen.
No worries. So over to the left, went down, and you see it's right under, what's that, Gone fan? So right up under is fib retracement.
Got it. Okay. Okay, got it. Thank you.
No problem. So then what we do is gonna look for current market price. I think my line's a little off, but we're gonna work with it right now. And all you're doing is waiting for it to break above or below, but you want it to completely break above it or completely break below it. So when I'm saying above and below, I'm talking about, say for instance, we're looking at this zone here. It's a rectangle. This whole zone here. I want to see what current market price is. This whole zone, right? So what I would do, take it off there because now you can't see what's going on. There we go. So I'd be waiting for it to break below that line. So once they broke below and open and close, I would get in for a sale. And how D. Renee was saying, you could do zone to zone trading with this. So when we say zone to zone, like over here, I'm gonna highlight it, but I'm gonna unhighlight it because I know you all won't be able to see it once I highlight it. Bring it down. So this area here, right? And you see when it broke below, put it right beside it so you can see what I'm talking about. Right in there. It was broke, the candle opened, that red candle opened and closed below that, then it went down for a sale. So if I wanted to, instead of me counting out my pips, right? But you should always count out your pips. You see it went straight to the next zone. So you can trade from zone to zone. Or you can just stick to your trading plan and do, 25 to 30 pips. Then it'd be the total opposite. So if you're looking for a buy order, say for instance, these two lines here, this zone here, you'll wait for it to break it, then open and close above it, and then you get in, grab your 20, 30 pips, get out. Or you can trade it from zone to zone, because you see it did go up and it completed that whole zone. Does that make sense? Yes, no,
Yeah.
maybe so?
Yes,
Okay.
perfect sense.
Good, good. All right, what any more questions before I went on to the ketchup and mustard? All right, so I'm not an expert in ketchup and mustard. I'm just going to show you all what I've been noticing.
Look at that boss picture.
Oh. So the ketchup and mustard is only for 15-minute time frame, 15-minute time frame. So for the different coordinates and stuff for each one of the MA lines, which is the moving average, the RSI line, and the MACD, in the group, and also in the Facebook group, we just posted, it's the different coordinates you could put on there. So I wanted to show you today actually how to navigate through it. So what I've been noticing, let's go back some. Let's go back. So the whole point of ketchup and mustard, I say it's only on a 15-minute time frame. Try to make it a little bigger so y'all can see. Is what you're waiting for is for the ketchup, which is red, to cross the mustard. So we're waiting, say for instance, this one right here. So right here, it's kind of small, I know, but the ketchup went below the mustard. So remember, it's below, it's a cell, right? So when you see that, you follow my straight long, this long red line here. When it went below that, see what happened with that RSI, which where it says buy and sell? You see the squiggly lines are below my sell line, right? Then if you go right below that to the MACD, half of that, the blue line, is below that red line. So that was like extra confirmation for a sell. On top of that, the light blue is called water, right? So as you see, once it went below that water, because you want the water pushes stuff down, that's an extra confirmation for another sell. Let me see, they just show the blueberry on here. Let's see. No, blueberries on top. All right, so yeah, so that's a confirmation for the ketchup and mustard. So kind of like don't like overcomplicate it, because the main keys on it are, if you see, especially if it's below the light blue line, which is your water, because you want it to be pushing below, it's for sale. If you want it to push below, that's one confirmation. Two confirmation, the ketchup crossed under the water, under the mustard, right? Third confirmation, look down here at your RSI and draw the line so you'll see. Look down here at your RSI, and a little squiggly line, I'm not sure what they would call it, we're gonna say squiggly line, is below the sell, right? And then for one more extra added confirmation, the MACD, these blue lines, you see these blue straight lines here, are below that red line. So it was like extra confirmation that it's a sell order. So the opposite. So say for instance, we want it to be a buy order, right? Let's go, where was one cross? I think that's one. All right, so over here, so when it comes to the buy order, one, the candlesticks are above the water, which is this light blue line here. Boom, first confirmation. Second confirmation, you see that the ketchup is above the mustard. Boom, got two. Third confirmation, I'm looking at this RSI and I'm like, okay, cool. The squiggly lines are above my RSI where it says buy. Great. Fourth, I think I was on fourth confirmation where it says MACD. You see some of the light blue, a dark blue, the very last one here, is on top of the red line. Boom, that's extra added confirmation. And what you could do, what they've been saying, is you can actually consider the white line up here. I'll take that off, there we go. That white line, anytime it gets to the Mayo, it's a sign of a reversal. So you could just ride it up to the Mayo, put your take profit up there, or stick to your trading plan and do the 25 to 30 pips, or ride it up there because it's gonna go up there. Another thing as well, what I've been doing, I'm not an expert in this, but I watch their videos over and over again. So another thing is when it crossed up, nine times out of 10, you have a second time to get into this trade, because each time the candlestick, when it crosses up or either crosses down, it retraces back to the mustard, which is the yellow line. So once it retraces back, it's gonna go back up again. And you can get in for that second time if you want to. And that's pretty much it with the ketchup and mustard. Also too, it's different times. I don't know if anybody looked at the notes yet, but it's different times. So Debo, the one who came up with the ketchup and mustard strategy, he says that between, I think it's 12:15 and 12:30 at night, you'll start to determine what the actual trend is for the market. and it lasts for 6 to 8 hours. And then a perfect entry, well, as perfect as it can get, is at 1 o'clock in the morning, which is when you're starting into your London session, all that kind of good stuff. Yeah, so I haven't tested it that way yet. It's just been working on normal hours for me because I'm not up that late, but it has been working so far. So have any questions on that?
Yes, Keisha. So the W's and the M's, I noticed that sometimes I can't identify the big ones because I know that Charity is her name.
Mm-hmm.
She was saying that the little ones, you don't really need to pay attention to those, but pay attention to the big ones. But I have been noticing that I don't always recognize it. Are you saying that you don't necessarily need the W or the N's as confirmation as long as you have all these other ones?
I'm going to say this is what's working for me, you know, because what I noticed too with these strategies, sometimes you can take them and make them your own. So whatever is working for you, like this, because I have a hard time as well trying to decipher, okay, what's the bigger M's, what's the lower W's? I mean, the smaller W's are the big ones and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to do what works for me until I actually get back on some more trainings with them and have them like really break it down to me. So this right here, where I'm have to look for M's and W's, it makes more sense to me. Also as well, like say for instance, because we look for the M's and W's, what I'm looking at here is the RSI, right? So say for instance, because it say get in on the second leg of the M. So in the second leg of this M, like right about in here, it then crossed over here though. So it gets kind of confusing to me, but you see when it did cross, it dropped down all the way on the RSI.
Right.
So it's like different ways you can do it, but I don't understand the M's and W's yet on here. So I just use this way.
Now, I don't remember them saying the MACD. Are you just, how are you entering MACD?
You know what, that's me. Like I said, I take a piece from everything that I notice is working, and then I put it all in one for that works for me. So that's how the MACD got on there, my bad.
Got you.
Thank you.
Just as another confirmation.
All right, sorry about that. Let me know. Can y'all still hear me?
Yes, you're still here.
Yes.
All right. So yes, I added the MACD. That was me. So I had like different indicators just for extra confirmation for myself that'll make more sense to me. Then I use some other people's strategies.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm. Yes, but we're going to become more, I guess, like really in tune. Why be able to explain the catch-up mustard strategy a little better because D. Renee is working on some things like J-balls. So they're working on some things for you all. So we'll be able to really, really dive deep into catch-up mustard for everyone. Yeah, but for now, this is the way that I'm doing it.
Thank you.
No problem. Any questions? All right, so go ahead. No question? All right.
I have a question. So when she was on showing us, I forget what her name was, but when she was showing us, so I asked her, I was like, so is this technically like scalping? And she said yes. So when you're doing it, are you putting in like, you're not putting in a stop loss or anything like that, right? You're just taking each candle?
Me personally, I'm not using the stop loss, but I do not recommend it if you haven't been trading for long, because we can't really predict the market and it'll reverse on you. So whether or not we have all the indicators or whatever you done and it's supposed to be best of the best, the market can reverse on you. So I don't use a stop loss when I'm doing this method, but I'm also sitting there looking at the chart too, make sure it's doing what I wanted to do.
Okay, so even though like all your indicators are like, even what you have up right there, there's obviously, even though it's in a downtrend, there's obviously still bullish and bearish candles. So you just ride the reverse out? You just stay in the trade until the ketchup and mustard crosses again? Or like when, you know what I'm saying? Like, when are you in and when are you out? I mean, obviously you're in when the ketchup and mustard crosses, as long as the water is in the right place for the buyer to sell. But then what?
So then like I get out within like 20 to 30 pips. But with this strategy, 9.9 out of 10, I'm sitting here looking at the chart. So as soon as I, switch back over and see what my history is, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm in a good profit. I'm good. And I get out. So I use this on the XPX 500 and the US 30. But of course it works for the regular Forex pairs as well. So when I'm looking at US 30 and the XPX 500, I'm looking at the chart. Because those move really fast.
Yeah, so as soon as you're into profit, or as much profit, I guess, as you like, or whatever your trading plan calls for, then you just get out. But when it starts reversing, then do you just immediately jump out if it starts going in reverse?
So like when it goes into profit, a good amount of profit, I will put a stop loss in profit. So just in case it keeps going, I know, okay, hey, I'm gonna secure some more to bag. But if it starts to reverse back, then okay, it's gonna put me out in profit. But if it stays in negative too long, so when I was looking at one of Debo trainings, he says if a trade is going bad for like 2 hours, you have to take the L and get out. Because he was like, if you can't accept the loss of, I know a lot of people aren't betting big money, but if you can't accept that loss, you won't be able to accept bigger wins. So he's like, if it's been 2 hours and that trade hasn't went your way using this strategy, then you get out.
Oh, so 2 hours? I mean, because you could be down, like if you are in SPX 500 or US 30 or something like that, you could be down a couple hundred in
Exactly.
minutes, not hours.
No.
So,
No, so that would be a difference on those, but regular Forex pairs, they're not moving as fast. 2 hours or less. But like you said, US 30 XPS 500, no, I don't stay in those long. Like last week, before I actually really learned this one, I was in drawdown in US 30 for a good amount of money. And I kind of refused to get out. That was like my ego. I refused to get out. But then it took all the way to this week for it to come back to where I was looking for. Because I was looking for a sale. Then I heard and jumped out when I got in profit. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend 2 hours for US 30 and XPS 500.
Okay.
Yeah, good question. Yeah, so although I don't use a stop loss, that does not mean anybody else, because I'm sitting here, I have nothing but time. So I sit here and I could be looking at the chart when I'm using this strategy. So if it goes too far in negative, I just take the L and I'm out. Unless I'm just really confident. But like you said, for US 30 and XPX 500, nah, I just go ahead and take the L and keep it moving.
Got it.
And sometimes it can balance out. Like today, a call was called for, I think it was US 30 for a buy, but it turned out to be a sell. So my little trick that I used was I had jumped in at a buy, and I was in, I did XPX just to do a smaller one. I did XPX, so of course it went to the negative, but then I saw confirmation, okay, this is gonna be a sell, so I jumped in for the sell. So once it balanced out, and I went ahead and closed out my one that was in the negative, that way still it balances out, I'm still in profit for the day.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so it's like little tricks and tips. Once the more you do it, that you'll learn. Good questions. Any other question? No? None? All right. Another thing I can go over is the harmonic scanner. Because I want to go over something today that somebody on the line will understand, whether it's the above, below, ketchup, mustard, or the scanner. So anybody have any questions about the scanner? Because I can go over that as well.
Yeah, Keisha, when I went into my demo account and decided to just take the scanner trades just to see, and most of them didn't hit. Is it my entry point? Does your entry point have to be perfect?
It doesn't. But another thing, when I'm doing the scanner trades, but it's because I've been looking at it for a minute, I only do market execution on those. So let me see if I can find an example. Let me stretch that out some. My apologies for the view. I'm on a cell phone, so it's gonna look a little off. So we can see these numbers though. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Okay. So for example, like this one, I wouldn't have gotten into that one yet. So when I say I do like market execution on them, it's because like after they get past that D and it's another candlestick, and that second candlestick happened to be red and it was moving up, I was going to jump in at a market execution. Because with the entry, what I noticed on a harmonic scanner is sometimes it won't hit your entry. So if you do a pending order and you did an entry, sometimes it'll get right close to it and be 2 to 3 pips away from it, and then it goes in the right direction, but it never hits your entry. So you kind of have to play around with it and see what works best for you. But on the harmonic scanner, all I look for is market execution orders on here.
Okay.
Like I said, I like to be in and out. Good question, good question. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you so much.
Okay, good. Any other questions on the scanner? Just in case, I got somebody on here that don't want to speak up, it's okay. So just so you'll know what the scanner, because any new people on here, to know if it's a buy or a sell entry, all I do, I come up and look at the entry. If the take profit is above the entry, I know it's a buy order. If I was to look over here, so I can find a sell one right quick. There we go. So if I was wanting to know, okay, this is a buy or a sell order, I would look for the entry. If that take profit is below the entry, it's a sell order. So that's how you know if it's a buy or a sell. That's just I like to keep stuff simple. That's how I remember it. And how to know if one is played out, if it's an old trade or a new trade, this right here is an old trade. What I look for is how many candlesticks are to the right of this D. Because they say you're either buying the D or you're selling the D. So I'm always looking at the letter D. Now look to the right of it. If it's too many candlesticks, I'm like, nope, not going to take those. This one right here, though, is it this one? This is going to be a good, well, I don't know if it's going to be a good one or not, but it's going to be a fresh trade when the market open back up. And for extra confirmation, Manny Quinones, he trades off the scanner. So he has his different tools and everything, different strategies to use for the scanner. So it's a good channel to check out if you're just comfortable with just using the scanner. Just follow Manny Quinones because that's what he uses for his different strategies. And he also has a whole website that breaks down different strategies as well. If you don't have that, I can post that in the group. Thank you. All right. Any questions? It can be about anything now. It has to be about what we went over. It can be about anything because I'm here for y'all.
Yeah, but I noticed once I was using the Milwaukee sauce, most of the scanner ideas were way off.
Yeah.
For a minute, I just stopped looking at the scanner because it threw me off a couple times, lost a couple trades, and I was like, what the hell? I mean, it's an algorithm, but.
Yeah. So this is like a whole bunch of noise right now, I know, but that's what he's talking about. He said the Milwaukee sauce. Use like different indicators to verify. So I know it looks like a lot of noise for some people. It's on my cell phone, that's why. But yeah, so how I was saying, you know, Manny has strategies to go along with the scanner. That's what the Milwaukee sauce is, which is in a 52 weeks group. So it's like extra confirmation. So if you know them two are opposite, then something's wrong. So you move on to the next one. So yeah, so you're definitely right about that. That was Damien, right?
Yes.
Okay. So do you mind, so you know we got like new people. So a lot of times, like I was telling them from the beginning, like it's a lot of strategies, a lot. And you have to decide which one works best for you. But can you speak on, I know you said you was going to learn a steady strategy.
Okay, I started it last night, but they don't have the videos organized like how Manny has his videos organized. So I'm like back and forth trying to get to the beginning of the training. And then finally last night, one of the educators was on and he basically told me go through his videos, but never gave me a direction. So I want to get that down perfect before I can introduce it to the team.
Okay, got you. Okay, no problem at all, no problem. But a state is another like for instance too, it's like, you know, we have a lot of strategies in the academy period. So if you ever wanted to learn what each one of the strategies were, you know, every Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern, that's what that is. That's different educators coming on for their time slot at 2 p.m. Eastern and then going over what strategy they offer. Some is a steady, some is a DeLorean. You got Gold Cup on there. It's a lot. So at 2 o'clock every Sunday is a new educator on there that's going over their strategy that they use. And you can also invite guests to it. If you have a family member that wants to see what it is, you can invite them to that as well. So every month, Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern is a new educator that can show you what their strategy is all about. So if you ever want to dive deep into know some other strategies. But choose one. Only choose one that you're going to work with, as you'll get very confused. All right, do we have any more questions?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do. I'm sorry. It's way back about the above and below though. I was reviewing my notes and there was mention of flat bottom candles. I know that you were using the Hunk and Nashi candles. Was the flat bottom just for extra confirmation, but not a necessity?
Yes, like with the flat bottoms, let me pull back up so I can see here. Yes, so when you see like a flat bottom or a flat top, you know for sure it's going in that direction that you want it to go in. So I do look for those. Those are like my extra confirmations. If I really want to really pinpoint it down, if I wasn't too sure about a trade. So like you see here, you see that for that sell candle, we're up under that, should say 1.12 under that field level there. You see it was a flat top for the sell. Then it went ahead and went down and it actually went to the next zone too. So those are extra confirmations.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
Can you redo the Fibonacci tool real quick?
Of course. Let me clear the screen off. Little drawings, make that a little smaller so I can see.
You place the horizontal lines first.
Yes. So I place one at the highest point on my chart that I'm looking at, right? I make that a little smaller so I can see. Then I place another one at the lowest point, including wick and all. And then I come over, so I can see that. Just make that a little small so I can see on my end. Then I come over here and I grab a fib retracement. I take it from the top and delete that one. Just gonna throw it off. Fib retracement. If I can get it right this time. Let's take it back up there. So, there we go. Take it from top to bottom. All right, then I go grab my horizontal lines. Like you normally can put them like close to where price is, if you didn't want to draw the lines. Or you can just put them all on the what's name, on each one of the field lines as well. Then at least you know your chart is marked up for the week. They normally come back and retest these zones anyway. So you can do it for each one of them. But some people don't like to see a lot of lines, so they'll just do the current market price. Horizontal line. Line. Make it a little bigger so you can see them. Grab that last one there. Boom. A little bigger. And are you waiting for it to, let's say none of this ever happened? Are you waiting for it to break either above or below wherever current market price is? So if we was looking at this zone here, well, not that zone, but this zone right below it, we was looking here. Now it's only focused on those two lines, that top line and that bottom line. I'll wait to see if it breaks below it, and how Tracy was saying about the flat top, I'll wait for that, or I'll just wait until it broke below it, period, and jumped in, grab my 20 or 30 pips, and get out. And then I wouldn't, like I was saying at the beginning, I wouldn't sit here and actually look at this one because I could set alerts. So I actually use call levels because that's the free app. And I would just set the call levels alert for my top line and my bottom line for what current market price is. And I wait for it to go off. And I'll come back and check, see if it broke below or above. Then I either jump in for a buy or jump in for a sell. And then I use extra indicators as well because I like indicators sometimes just to give me extra confirmation that is what I was looking for. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Good,
Yeah.
good. Perfect.
So now I took the two snapshots of the fib numbers, but does it work if in the default fibs, or do these numbers need to be exact?
They might need to be exact, because this is the way that I was taught. So he had us change. I forgot it was one number. I can't remember the number that he had us change, but that's what's on these fib lines.
Okay.
So I would test it out if I was you. I would just back test and see, like do it with these particular fib lines for the zone that you took a screenshot of, and then also do it at the default fib lines, just to see if it's a big difference.
Got you.
Good questions. Any other questions? All right, well, if there's no more questions, as soon as this uploads on Zoom, then I'll definitely be posting it inside the group. And that's it for today. Should no one had any more questions? Still got 9 minutes. All right. So thank you everyone for jumping on a Friday evening. I appreciate each and last one of you. Make sure over the weekend you go over the above, below, or go over the ketchup, mustard, or whatever works for you. Just study that strategy this weekend so you can start testing it out on Sunday.
How many more minutes you said we got?
We got 8 more minutes.
Okay. Can you show me how to place let's say they have the different time frames? Remember I asked that question? Maybe you covering it, but it just slipped my mind.
No problem. Let's remove those drawings. So some people, like me, I analyze on a 1 hour. So say for instance, I was looking over here. I want to look at, so I started with the 1 hour. I'm drawing a little vertical line here. I want to see what this counter was doing. Boom. So I want to come over here. Some people do 4 hours, some people do a week, some people do a month, but it's all depending on what kind of trader that you are. So like if I was to analyze, let's say the 4 hour time frame, what I'm looking for, me personally, what I'm looking for is to see if the candlesticks lined up, if everything was still the same. Because remember, each one of these candlesticks are for each period. So like I'm on a 4 hour, so each one of these candlesticks are 4 hours. So say for instance, I started out with the 4 hour, I'm like, okay, cool. That candle is red, okay, perfect. So I mean, it might be a sale. I'm coming into the hour. All right, cool, it's working up to it, still a sale. Then finally, I'll connect to the 15-minute. Because remember, each candlestick, it goes up to it, right? And it was still a red. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I definitely want to jump into this for a sale. Some people start off with the monthly just to see what the whole thing was going. That's going to kind of, there we go. There we go. And some people start off there and draw their support and resistance lines there. And just to see what's going on, right? Because what you're getting now is a bigger view of what's going to be happening. But it's a monthly time frame. So it's going to take a little long for it to play out. But if you drop your support and resistance lines, right? And everything lines up and you know, you'll start to recognize a certain zone. So if you got a certain zone that all the candlesticks keep coming back to, keep coming back to the support or resistance lines, that's a very strong zone. And you can trade from that zone all week long. But that's something I had to mark up on the laptop though. Go down to the week. You see now it's turning blue, right? But you still had time to get in, which is why we're trading the 15-minute and hour time frame. So before it even started to go up to turn into a buy, you'll be already got in and got out. As you see as well, like with the extra indicators down here, see what that turned blue? My MACD, the lines are bluish green. I think it's supposed to be blue. And the blue is on top of the red. Then my RSI, that purple line is on top of the blue for my buy.
Let me ask you. Go ahead, when you finish.
Okay. Yeah, and that's pretty much it, because I like to mark up on the hour. That's my thing. I like to do the hour time frame.
Can you how to get those indicators on our phone like yours?
I think I can. Let's see here.
Before you continue, you see how you got the MACD that changes from dark red to light red? That shows you that it's going into a buy. I've been trying to figure that out for the longest.
Okay. I should be able to click on my settings here. Actually, I think it's going to answer both of y'all questions. So here's for the MACD. So here's what I have it set to, right? So screenshot that, and I'm going to go to the style and show you how to do the different colors.
What? 1226 close, okay.
I'm going to go over to the style, and these are my colors.
Oh, dear.
We're going to screenshot. So that's the first one, right? And here's the, so you see the two different colors, the orange and the blue.
I can't do that on my phone.
Well, I think I set it up first from the laptop. And then when I go to TradingView app on my phone, it's automatically on there.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Got you.
Right.
Trying to find a histogram, but I guess not.
It should be just, let me see which one. Trying to see. You know, they got different MACDs on there. So I have to look it up and see which one it was. I know it's in my notes.
The
Yeah,
average oscillator?
Which one? Yeah, I'm looking. When I put it from my laptop, I'll be able to see exactly which one it was that I chose from MACD. And write it down so I remember. Now make sure I send that to you. It was a certain MACD that I had chose.
Makisha, with each different strategy, do people set up their MACDs differently?
I don't. I think all mine are still the same, except for on MetaTrader 4. If I'm not mistaken, on the one I have on MetaTrader 4 was the default to be on there anyway. So I didn't do anything different with that one.
Mine on TradingView is set up how Delano suggested to do it. He's the Gold Cup educator for MA crosses because I use the 4 and the 50, the EMA and the MA cross.
Mm-hmm.
So I was wondering if that's applicable to, you know, other strategies, whether it's ketchup and mustard or above and below, because I've been using his MACD when I use the 4 and 50.
Well, I know for sure this MACD is good with the above below because when I'm do the chart on here, I'm using above below, and I'm still using the same indicators.
Okay.
And it was still adding up.
Okay, so I will switch to what you have it set as and then see if that one works with the 4 and 50. Because I'm wondering if for different strategies, I need to put different numbers on the input. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Yes, I'm honestly not sure about that part. I just know that this actually does work for the above, well, extra confirmation with the above below. And I think I got this MACD because I studied binaries as well. And it was one of the ways that they had to set up for the MACD. So I just tested it with the above below and I was like, okay, cool, it works. So let me show you the RSI. See if I can click on it. Try to click on the settings. There we go. So here's your screenshot for your RSI for this one. And the colors as well. Show you the inputs, which is just 4 and close. Yeah, so those were the settings for the indicators. Did y'all get that, especially who asked the question?
Yep, thank you so much.
All right, no problem.
I'm trying to figure it out, but I'll do some more research. I'll look at the recording also.
Okay, then definitely let me know. And then I could probably jump back on from the laptop with you, maybe over the weekend or something. We can walk over it so I can show you. All right, any other questions?
One last question for me, Makisha. With your MACD, that histogram on the top, are you like, how are you using that as an indicator? Like, because I know with the MACD, I have one that says if the blue is on the top, it's a buy. If the red is on the bottom, it's a sell, and vice versa. But I'm not familiar with the histogram and how that works.
Okay. All right. So like, try to make this a little bigger. I'm gonna take this last question and I got another meeting I gotta jump onto. All right, so let me draw a little straight line. So say for instance, like when it started to drop here. So what I'm looking at, move that out the way so you can see. So what I'm looking at here is these dotted lines here, the whole dotted line here.
Right.
So what I'm doing, I'm waiting for when it, because you see here, it started to drop, right? But you see here, everything wasn't lined up for my indicators. So like the histogram was still showing it as a blue. And then the red was just now crossing it. So I would wait to get in until everything lined up. just for extra confirmation. My hand was shaky there. There we go.
Oh, okay, got it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I'm waiting for everything to line up for extra confirmation. Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for the value, Keisha. I appreciate it so very much.
Oh, you're more than welcome. More than welcome. All right. Well, this has been great, but I gotta jump on the next call. So if y'all have any questions, just let me know. Post them inside the group, and I will definitely answer them. So thank you so much for taking time out this evening, and I want all you all to have a wonderful and prosperous weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you.